first off, I am Jennifer Graves. I am the principal here, and it is my honor and joy to be able to be here every day. I'm going on my 6th year as principal and my 9th year here at Edison. I can't believe how time flies. It just seems like I just got here, and that was in 2013. So I thank you. I invited freshman parents and I invited sophomore parents. Since last year was a little strange, I thought that it would be beneficial for sophomore parents as well. So raise your hand if you are a sophomore parent. Oh, great, we do have some of you. And freshman parents. Yay! How many of our freshman parents, this is your first year ever being freshman parents? Oh, excellent. Well, welcome. Welcome to Chargerland. I am so excited, and it feels so good to be able to do this in person. Last year we did it virtually, and it was right when we were trying to figure out Zoom, and not knowing that everybody that was logging on had to have a student email, and it was a nightmare. So no matter what we're doing, we're going to videotape this and record it, and hopefully we can get the link up and running for those that are at home going, what's going on? It's not working. But we'll get that taken care of. And now I'm messing with the camera, and Mr. Bennett's going to yell at me. Anyhow, so let's kind of get started. We have 3 parent organizations here this evening that are going to be talking to you in a little bit. Our PTSA and President Joy Moyers. We have our foundation and our President Jim Herdater. And we also have our ABC, which is our Academic Booster Club, Ms. Nicole Weiss. And we have Cindy Berman, who you'll get to know you'll hear from her at least once or twice a week, every week. She is our coordinator that works with parents and volunteers, and she sends out all those Parent Square emails and announcements that you get to keep you updated with everything's happening. That is Cindy. She's absolutely amazing. And she's here on campus Tuesday through Friday working every day, so it's so nice. We're such a lucky district to have that. My old district didn't have what we call a VIPS coordinator, and knowing that we have someone on campus that does nothing to make sure except making sure that you're communicated with and you're in the loop of all the things going on, so it's pretty exciting. I also wanted to introduce a couple more people. This is Miss Linda Temple. She is our student support psychologist. She works, and she's going to talk in a little bit, but she works mainly with our freshman and sophomore students, but she runs what we call the Stop-In Center, and it's for all students that they just need to talk to someone, feel to jump in, stop in, and to just talk to someone. And I have a feeling some of our kids are going to need it after the last year and a half that we've spent. And it's so wonderful to have someone on campus that her job is specifically to help and support and listen and give guidance to our kids. So we are so lucky to have Linda. Next to Linda is our assistant principal of activities, Ms. Sina Rich. Sina is going to talk to you about all the great things that we're going to do, because the wonderful thing is we're back in person, which means we can have some fun. Might be a little different, but because COVID is still here, but at the same time, we can go to events, we can have outside dances. We're going to be doing outside pep assemblies to start, but we are off and running, and so we're so excited. We have an amazing ASB. How many of you got to experience a tour through our ASB students? Oh, fantastic. We have over 47 ASB students this year, and we are focusing on the students. Our job is to make sure that all feel welcome and all feel safe and secure, and they have a great 4 years at Edison. So she'll be talking to you in a bit. And then hiding in the corner over there is our athletic director, Mr. Rich Boyce. He's amazing. It was the first this summer. I actually got to see Rich take a week off. This man has worked so hard through COVID. I don't know how many schedules that he has adapted, changed, and working with other schools to make sure that we had games and events for our kids, not to mention planning summer program that hopefully a lot of your students took advantage of. So Rich is amazing. Rich is going to talk to you in just a few minutes about athletics, because there's always some questions about that. Just giving you a little overview. And then hiding behind the screen that's helping me get this live streaming up is our assistant principal of curriculum, Mr. John Bennett. And so we are off and running. So I'm going to kind of get started. Oh, maybe. Oh, look at it, I'm live streaming.
Just go for it. We're almost there.
Okay, well, we're going to go for it. And I think my first group, while we're doing that, and he's getting this up and running, why don't we start with the parents? So, Joy, why don't you come on up really quick and talk about PTSA?
Hi, I'm Joy Moyers. I'm the PTSA president again this year. This is my second time. My oldest graduated from Edison in 2014, and my little guy is going to be a junior this year. So I have a lot of big love for Edison and a long history of working with this fantastic staff. If you're new to the school, you are going to love it. So one of the biggest differences about PTA, we call it PTSA here at the high school because we like to get our students involved. It's a very different program than probably what you experienced at the elementary or the middle school. We're not going to ask you to sell candy or, wrapping paper or any of those things. You might miss it, but I think you'll get over it. We are really driven by educating parents, and our programs are our big deal. So one of the plans we've hatched with Principal Graves is to do something in November where we're going to ask the experts to bring out a panel of folks to answer questions about all kinds of pressing issues for students that are this age range and parents who are parenting kids of this age range. So programs is really what drives our organization. So don't ever be afraid to be a part. We're not going to make you stand out on the corner and sell out our cookie dough or whatever else. One of the other programs that we do here is that we do something called Bolt of Appreciation. And it originally started as a Teacher Appreciation Week item where we gave out little Bolt pins, little charger pins, to recognize teachers who have gone above and beyond, and we are now to the point where we run that all year long. So if you encounter an Edison teacher or staff member that you would like to recognize, please give them a Bolt of Appreciation. All of the money that's collected goes towards our scholarship program. The other item that we have coming up is a Reflections Art contest. They don't like me to say contest or competition, but there will be a hierarchy of who gets to move on to the county PTA and eventually the state PTA and the national PTA for different creative categories. And that comes up really quick in the fall, so be on the lookout for that information that Cindy Berman will send out on our behalf. October 1st, I think, is the due date, but if you have a student who's creative, who likes to take pictures or write or draw or dance or compose music, then this is definitely something they want to be a part of. Here at Edison, we are the only high school that has 3 parent groups. We're very lucky. We have our PTSA, we have a foundation, which is much more fundraising driven, and then we have our ABC, our Academic Booster Club. And all 3 of those organizations are always looking for folks to be a part and to join our boards. So definitely reach out to us if you have any interest or time to give. We would love to connect with you and help find a way for you to feel like Edison is your place too. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Next up, Jennifer Nader with our foundation, and you'll get to hear about some of the great things. And the foundation has also been fantastic. Like Joy said, they do a lot of fundraising. They helped us in the last couple of years. We put on some galas, and we actually redid our entire library to make it more friendly and comfortable for the kids, almost like a coffee feel. So they do a lot to help us throughout. So come on in, Jeff.
Welcome. My name is Jennifer Dater, and I'm the Edison High School Foundation President. This is my first year as president, so I'm learning just as some of you new freshman parents are learning, and it's exciting to have everyone here and in person. The foundation is one of the 3 parent organizations on campus. Our mission is to facilitate the needs of our teachers, students, and staff throughout the school year to ensure the best possible environment for our students to thrive. Joining the foundation provides much needed funding for those outside the budget items, such as STEM lab, projectors, for math classrooms, computers, software, and resource materials for the College and Career Center. I know as incoming freshman parents, you may not necessarily be thinking about college right now, but your kids are going to get dialed in before you know it, and this is an awesome place for them to explore their options. This school year is about rebuilding our foundation and connecting with one another. The foundation hopes to assist the campus in beautification efforts and introduce a new scholarship program in the spring for qualifying seniors. Currently, we have one board position open. It's treasurer. So if we have anybody who would like to give a little bit of time, we would love to have you join us. And we also have a fresh volunteer opportunity for those who are social media savvy. We need someone to kind of make some posts and inform the community of what's going on. I hope you will consider joining us and getting involved as we encourage our students to give back and build on their foundation for continued growth and success. If you have any questions, I'm over at the table throughout the meeting, and thank you for being here.
And I think most importantly is please join these three organizations. The money goes back to the kids on all three, whether it be scholarships, whether it be in the classroom, whether it be working and updating things around our campus. All of this is to make it a better experience for your students. So we highly recommend that you join all of our organizations. And last up is Ms. Nicola Weiss with the Academic Booster Club.
Good evening and welcome to Edison. As Ms. Grace said, I'm Nicola Weiss. I'm the Academic Booster Club president. This is my 8th year. I do have a senior this year, and sadly this will be my last year. I have 4 others in college, all went through Edison, and this is going to be your family from now on. As you heard, there's several organizations here on campus that you can get involved in, and connect with those and opportunities that speak to you and that you're passionate about. The Academic Booster Club, as some of you probably saw, we run the student store. We're open during lunchtime and tutorial, and we need a ton of volunteers to fill all of those spots. The money raised there goes towards scholarships and programs here on campus. We fund field trips, books for English classes, opportunities in the SAC program. We're putting a fan system into the PE rooms right now. So whatever the school needs, we try to fill those needs. That money is also raised through membership, so you can join and become a member of our organization as well. The other things we do on campus are our recognition nights. Here at Edison, you can actually letter in academics. After 3 semesters of 4.0s, we recognize the students with an academic varsity letter that they can put onto their jackets. For every semester of 4.0s after that, they receive a pin to add to that. We also do a student recognition night, which is when the teachers select about 5 students to recognize for overcoming complication. What? Yeah, for overcoming any struggles they have in the classroom, or maybe they're a great mentor or they're a good friend to somebody that needed a friend. So those are not necessarily academic recognitions. And then in the springtime, we award about $10,000 in scholarships to our seniors, both through scholarship applications and recognitions from the different departments. So if you are looking for a place to volunteer, we are definitely starting to open up our store. And as you saw, I had my store staffed right now with my kids. But there's this place for you. Get involved and enjoy your next 4 years. They go really, really fast, I promise you. Enjoy
I'm losing her after 8 years. It's like, I look at some of these ladies and they're never dead, and it's like, holy cow, they're part of my family. We spend so much time together, and she's been such just a wealth of knowledge for our ACE. If your students are part of the ACE program, Nicola has just helped us so much. She helped us with our lacrosse, getting it off and going. So it's just amazing, and I can't thank these parents enough because they do so much for us. So now, there's my sales pitch. There's our volunteer pitch. Now it's all the information that you need to know. So I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit first. You're going to see this around campus. You're going to see people wearing t-shirts. You're going to say, what does it mean to be a Charger? I think the biggest thing, you're going to see a tagline, and you're going to hear us say all the time how proud we are to be Chargers. We run strong in tradition here. We're going in our 52nd year. We opened in 1969, and a few years ago we asked ourselves, well, what does it mean to be a Charger? What do we want our students and our staff and everybody to know, especially our students, by the time they leave here? What do we hope that they achieve? Number one is we want all students to be connected. We want them to be connected to someone or something on this campus. Again, we want them to feel safe. We want them to feel welcome. We want them to feel that this is their second home. And for some, this might be their home where they feel the safest. And that is my ultimate goal. That will always be my ultimate goal. I firmly believe in order to have the best school in the world, we have to have a firm foundation, which means we can't have cracks. So we're constantly striving to make sure that we fill those cracks and all of our students have a place here. So it's a goal that we'll always be working on, and I will always try to achieve, but I'm going to get there because I am going to have the best school in the world because I truly believe this is the best school in the world. Next up is H. It's all in regard to honesty. It's being proud of who you are and making those tough decisions when no one's looking. And knowing that has to do with academic honesty, but also just being true to yourself so you can be true to others. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Achievers. We want our kids to continually achieve. We want them to always strive to do their best. We don't want them settling. I think a lot in the last couple of years with COVID and working from home and distance learning, it's allowed students to find easier ways to learn. Whether it be the cell phone, whether it be Google, whether it be, sometimes I think that maybe, it was difficult. It was difficult to learn, and we want to get back to the basics. We want kids to learn. We want them to critically think. We want them to be creative, and we want them to be communicators. And so I'm so happy, I can't tell you how happy I am to have everyone back on campus so we can really make sure that our students are learning everything we want them to know. So when they leave high school, they're ready. Next up is in regard to respect. Treat each other with respect. It's a very important thing here that we are inclusive and we celebrate students' adversities. We celebrate students for who they are. Take time to get to know them from the inside. I always say, assume the best in others. Take a second to meet them, know who they are, and don't judge them from the outside. Take a few minutes to get to know the person from the inside. Treat each other with respect. Just the good old golden rule. Next one is giving. We are very big about giving. We have a whole month that we use as a school. We call Care Month, the month of November, where we are trying to find ways to give back and to help others. And so we even have a day of caring, our day of giving. So I hope that our students take advantage of it. All of our athletic teams, Coach Boyce stresses to them, please do something with community service and give back, because we also want to make sure that our community knows how great our kids are. And when they wear those shirts out in the community, I don't want to hear, oh, those Edison students. I want to say, those are those Edison students. They're great kids. And that's all about giving back. Next up is empathetic. Have empathy for one another. Take time, again, assume the best in others, and understand that we all have bad days, but we all want the best. We all want to be loved. We all want to be treated fairly. And we just take time to be empathetic, because not everyone has a good day. Sometimes we don't. But just to be empathetic and take that time for each other. And parents, take time for yourself. This is going to be a tough time for for you. You're going to have ups and downs with your children too. They're finding themselves right now, and that's what high school is all about. Think back when you were in high school. You changed so much from your freshman year to your senior year. And then think about when you graduated and then graduated college, or when you were 22. I know that I am not the same person at all. And so our students are going through the same thing. So it's okay, parents, sometimes to walk away and just scream, and then come back in and love your kids. We're all human. And we're reliable, and most of all, we're spirited. We really pride ourselves here on getting involved and being spirited. Our competitiveness, we love that in the fans. We want to be that 12th player in the stands, supporting all of our teams, supporting our performing arts, making sure that we're there to support our kids and support one another. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Mrs. Rich. Again, she's our activities director, but she's also assistant principal here, and she's got the best job in the world. Her job is to make school fun. How great is that? I did it for 13 years. It was the best job ever.
Hello, good evening, parents. Sorry, I'm a loud talker to begin with, so when I get behind a microphone, it's really loud. But welcome. Okay, so you all have a job, and it's to go buy some green and gold. Because the next time I see you guys, you're going to be wearing green or gold. I see some that were prepared tonight. You guys, there's no giveaways tonight, but you guys all won if you're wearing green and gold. So anyway, my name is Tina Rich. Tomorrow there's a freshman orientation. Our band director, Miss Cooley, has been teaching some upperclassmen how to come and welcome your freshmen tomorrow. They have a full day of activities. Please encourage your child to come. They will leave with memories, new friends. Do not text them while they're here. They're not going to be on their phones. They will be okay. It will be their first day at their new school campus. So we are so excited to welcome your children, your freshmen tomorrow. There's also, so everyone thinks Edison athletics. You're probably all really waiting to hear Mr. Boyce over there. But not every kid's an athlete. So we have a lot of programs here at Edison. We have some really strong academic programs. I know I spoke with some of you out there. SciVax, MUN, there's also ACE. There's also kids that take honors, general ed classes. There's kids that come to school and go home, and they're not in anything per se. And that's our awesome clubs come in. So we have a week that we're devoting to connecting kids to different clubs. I actually have a kid working on it right now. You're going to be getting a parent square sometime soon. We're sending it to you guys as well because we recognize that the freshmen might need a little parental help still to get the communication down. So say your kid is interested in forming his or her own club. They can fully do that. Have them sign up, have them reach out to me. There should be a place for every kid to go on campus. Every kid should feel like the bell rang, but I can still stay here and do some stuff on campus. I do want to invite you all this Friday night. I'm having a big party on a football field at Huntington Beach Stadium. It's our first game of the season. Sorry, Mr. Boyce. But ASB, all of the students that you just met out there tonight, they're going to be there all dressed in white. You don't have to stay for the game. You can drop your freshmen off there, and we will keep an eye on them while they're there. But we would like you to come and enjoy the game as well. The students are all going to be wearing white, and that's where they're going to learn to feel that Charger pride. They're going to be cheering and screaming and just getting crazy and just they will leave exhausted and hyped. And that's how we want your kids to be. We want them to be exhausted and excited about going to anything that Edison is doing. Finally, if you did not get an ASB card at registration, they were the ones that were blue. Those will give you discounts on all of the dances that we have, any athletic athletic games, things like that. It's just a fun way. You can also get a deal with the yearbook, or there's a combo. Just check it out on the website. But mostly we just want your kid to come here, have fun. I oversee ASB, that's in room 148. I also have an office in the office, in the administration office. Feel free to email me. I do know some of you from community. Feel free to text me. You have my phone number. So I'm available to help, and I mean that in the most sincere way. If I don't know your kid by the end of the year, I haven't done my job. I will be interrupting their classes. I'm the loud, crazy one that comes in and just does wacky stuff. So if your kid doesn't come home and not know me, I'm sorry. Call me and let me know that. Okay. Thanks.
That is fantastic. I love it. It's so good. Cannot wait to have Normal back. It's just so good. So it's very important to buy that ASB card. That ASB card, like she said, gives you discounts. They get into home athletic events for free. They get a discounted price. It's definitely worth the money. You will get your money back and then some by being a part of that and having that ASB card. Okay, these are some important dates that we wanted you to just be aware of. We will have, if you go on our website, you'll have these dates as well. If you go under activities, there'll be an ASB calendar, but it'll show you homecoming week is coming up pretty gosh darn quick. The biggest thing you need to know is that they don't have to have a date. In the old days when we all went to dances, we all had to have a date. They don't have dates. They go together in big groups now, and it's just a lot of fun. So make sure that they get involved. Our homecoming assembly, our homecoming will be out in the bowl area, so the kids can actually participate. That you can see the game this year is on Thursday, and the dance is on Saturday. The Big Bell game, the Fountain Valley football game, you'll see the date. If you've never been, this is your year to experience the greatest rivalry. It's so much fun. We poster the campus, and it's just a friendly, fun rivalry. Fountain Valley, and I think we're going on 16 years ago, 15 years ago. 16, 15, 16. 16. Holy moly, we're so good. And then last but not least, it's winter formal. That's another a dance that your child will be able to go to. Okay, Mr. Rich Boyce.
With apologies to Miss Rich, I would say the one thing she got wrong is don't drop your kids off at the game on Friday. Make sure you stay, because I think you will enjoy it. These 4 years are going to go by so fast. Just 6 years ago, I've been here 22 years, but 6 years ago, my son and his friends were all freshmen here, and I remember telling them and their parents that they got to get involved. And you got to get involved, and the parents need to get involved. It really is a community school. There's so many things for your son or daughter to do. If there's not a sporting event, there's some band performance, there's a play, there's a dance, there's a club, there's something for them to do. But these 4 years are going to go by so fast. You parents need to get involved. Even if it's just showing up to the game. I know the kids say they don't want you around. Trust me, they want you around. They want you there. They want to look up in the stand and see you there with their performance at their sporting event. They want to see you there. So get involved. The time will fly by so fast, and you'll really get the max out of it if you stick around and watch the football games, the basketball games. Go to as many places as you can. Get involved, because you'll find this is an incredible place. My son and his friends graduated 2 years ago, and they all said they made the greatest choice. It's the best school. It is the best school. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but also it's because the people are here. It's not just athletics. It's not just the academics, all the other stuff. It's the people here. They care about every single child. And if your son or daughter is involved in athletics, obviously I'm going to take a special interest in them and want them to succeed in everything. So make sure you get involved no matter what in their high school career. Now, as far as athletics goes, there is actually 30 sports they can get involved. Make that 31, because we added women's beach volleyball this year. So there's a lot of sports for your son or daughter to try out for. Most of these sports have 3 levels, freshman, JV, and varsity. Some only have 2, and a few only have 1. But I will tell you, as most kids as freshmen, they're a little hesitant to try, and we keep a whole lot of freshmen. We'd love to see them get involved and be part of athletics. Now, to be an athlete here, there's a couple of things you have to do. One, you got to be a good student. Obviously, your kids are here to get an education first. It's student athlete. So your son or daughter has to have a 2.0 GPA and maintain that 2.0 GPA. Other things they need to do, they need to get a physical to play or even to try out. You've got to make sure they're okay to take the physical pound that they have for athletics. I know last year was strange. It seemed like in the spring we had 35 sports going, and I think we did. And there were times there were 7 or 8 sports going on here at campus. This year it's a little easier. The sports, hopefully, knock on wood, will stay in their correct seasons. Right now we have football, cross country, water polo, girls volleyball, and girls tennis. Okay, and girls golf. Those are the sports we have right now. Into winter we have basketball for boys and girls, wrestling for boys and girls, and soccer for boys and girls. And everything else is in the spring. So spring's a pretty busy time. So there's plenty of activities for your son or daughter to get involved in. All I can say is really go out there and have them get involved in something. It doesn't have to be athletics, but have them get involved in something. And then whatever they choose, you get involved in it. Get involved in a really positive way and help out and do whatever you can to enrich their experience here. Because really, those 4 years are going to go by so fast. If you need anything from me, obviously you can email with any questions or ask your neighbor. Everybody in Huntington Beach has my phone number. Okay?
I don't think he's lying either. And it's so exciting. I have that door open, so maybe after you guys can peek through, you can see our pool that is under construction. After 50 years, we're getting a brand new pool. It's so fantastic. And our hope, it's going to be done by the end of December. Marianne, good stuff. So, which means, girls' water polo season and our swim season, we'll be able to use our own pool. I'm so stoked about that. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. Our SAC students use it. They're actually putting in a ramp, so our SAC students will be able to walk or roll straight into the pool. We're really excited, along with 2 lifts. So our pool gets utilized all day and all night, so we cannot wait until that's getting done. Okay, I'm going to try to speed it up because I know you're probably, booty's getting a little tired up there, but it's important information, and I hope that you're hearing us over and over again, this whole Get Connected theme, because it's truly what makes students be successful on this campus. If they're busy and they want to be here, you always see academics improve. And so number one thing that you did is you're here tonight. And so I can't thank you enough. And then tomorrow, make sure, don't say, I don't want to, if their kid goes, I don't want to go tomorrow. Oh, no, you're going to get up and you're going to Charter Connections. They must be here tomorrow if they're a freshman. That's a must. Okay, so getting started. On the first day, the first week of school, we gave you some packets, some things in the packet, just so you know. And you'll be able to check your student's schedule before the first day. So you'll be able to get online, get your student's schedule so they can bring it with them on the first day. It'll tell them the room numbers and the teachers they have and all that good stuff. In addition to that, we'll also have it posted that you can get some help here on campus. But the biggest thing you need to know is before school even starts, you'll be able to see your child's schedule with the room numbers and the teachers, so on their first day, they'll be ready to go. We'll have ASB members, our Charter Connection students, our cheerleaders. We'll have a lot of people out and about with Ask Me balloons, and they'll be here with maps trying to help kids get to where they need to be. You know, Mr. Boyce talked about getting involved in athletics and performing arts. It's important. We have an amazing band, choir, music industry program. Our performing arts are growing and getting better and better. And now we have a dynamic duo, a husband and wife, Kristen Cooley and her husband Jeremy Cooley, that they are taking over the performing arts. So we're pretty excited. We're going to give Apple a run for their money. We've got some good things happening here. So that, as you can see, the first week we go to all classes every day. We're on what we call traditional schedule. So every day they'll go to all class periods. So the first day on Wednesday, 0 period will start at 7 o'clock. First period will start at 8 o'clock, and then they'll go from there. And they'll meet every one of their teachers on the first day. The second day we'll have the same schedule, but we have what's called Smart Start, where we're going to show a little video about what it means to be a charger, talk, and spend a little bit of time getting to know our kids. We call it Smart Start. It's about a 35-minute period during third period. And then on Friday, we'll still have that traditional schedule with Smart Start. Another time that we're just going to sit down and talk and get to know your student. They haven't been in a classroom. We are all so used to talking like this. We can't see faces. And I know we have to wear these in the classroom, but at the same time, we want kids to start getting comfortable being back in a class of 37 students. It's going to be different. They're going to be in class for 6 hours a day. So we want to take some time and get it back to normal. So just giving you a heads up about the first week. And then the second week, it's Tuesday, September 7th, because September 6th is a Monday and it's Labor Day. So we will start block schedule on the second week of school. All our bell schedules are up on our website. You'll get to know our website very well. We have an amazing webmaster. She's my secretary. Her name is Kelly Prouty. She's absolutely amazing and does a great job of keeping that webpage up and running. Schedule changes. If for some reason there's something not right with your schedule, your child's schedule, the first day, the only schedule changes we do is if for some reason your freshman has a senior language arts class, or they have 5 language arts classes, anything kind of crazy and out of the realm like that, we will handle those on the first day. If they decide they just don't want ceramics, but they want to be in choir, then those are schedule changes that we will start to do on the second day of school. Last day to make any schedule changes is September 17th. How can you help in making your child successful? These are little blurbs and little things that I'm going to go over in regard to attendance, in regard to dress code. I need you to know what HBUHSD is, my HBUHSD, because you're going to get on that a lot to make sure that your child is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you can see their canvas and you are be able to view in areas. Again, get involved, be connected. In our attendance office, we're going back to regular attendance, which means kids can be tardy, and if kids are tardy, they could get a detention. If they get a detention and they don't serve it, or they're tardy again, they could get Saturday school. All those good things are back. One of the things I want to make sure that you know is just to be in class on time. Nice and simple. We have passing periods of 7 minutes. They have more than enough time. The school is not that big. They can get to class on time. So that's number 1. So just make sure that they're aware of this. We will go over this with our students as well. I just thought that you would like to know. In regard to attendance, the biggest thing that you need to know is when your child is out sick, you have 5 days to clear that absence. If you forgot, you didn't write a note, you didn't call in, you didn't email our attendance office, if your child didn't bring a note in, then they get a Saturday school. And it goes on their attendance as a truancy. So make sure that you clear their absences if they're out sick. It's very, very important. Okay? And so those are some of the things that you'll need to be aware of. And we'll get more into that as you go. I think one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk too about is off campus. Let's say you have to send your child to a dentist or a doctor's appointment, and you're coming to pick them up. The biggest thing that I need to make sure that you know is that you get an off-campus pass for your child gets the off-campus pass before they leave campus. So if you know, hey, honey, your dentist appointment's at 10 o'clock, I'm going to write you a note, go to the attendance office, give this to them, they'll give them an off-campus pass before school even starts for them to leave at 10 o'clock. Then all they have to do is go out front and you can pick them up. If you don't do that, then you need to come into the attendance office and check your child out. You just can't say, meet me outside at 10 o'clock and I'll bring you back, because now they left campus and we didn't know and we're liable for them. So please make sure that they have an off-campus pass before they ever leave campus. That's extremely important. Dress code, very simple in the high school. It's probably a little different than it is in the middle school, but since they haven't been in school for 2 years, they have to wear more than pajamas, unless it's pajama. But the biggest thing is bellies, not on campus. We don't want to see their undergarments. Thank God the days of the big baggy pants and the boys and see their boxers are over. I love it. It's getting a lot better. But please make sure that they follow the dress code. The biggest thing is masks are required. Anytime they are in a classroom, they must wear a mask. If they're outside, it is optional. I think all of you received the letter from Dr. Harwick, our superintendent. If they're performing, if they're competing, they're practicing for athletics, as they're exerting themselves, they don't have to wear a mask. But when they're sitting or we're in a group like this, we have to have a mask on. So anytime we're inside, masks are required. That's as simple as I can make it. So just make sure they always have their masks. Nice and easy. Unfortunately, like we say, we want this COVID to go away, but it keeps rearing its ugly head. And so until it goes away, we still have to require a mask. Cell phones, Chromebook policy. The students are allowed to have cell phones on campus. Every student has a Chromebook. If they have not received their Chromebook yet, it's probably because they didn't go through registration, and they will get that Chromebook on the first day of school. And that Chromebook, the students keep with them all 4 years. They don't turn it in every year. They keep it. It's theirs, and then their senior year, they will check it back into us at the end of their 4 years. So by that time, that Chromebook's going to be a little tired. I do recommend, however, you purchase the insurance, because if something happens, a keyboard breaks, a battery dies, anything like that, that $30 goes to right there, and if we can't fix it, we'll give them a new one. So if you haven't purchased the Chromebook insurance, I highly recommend you do so. The biggest thing is make sure they know their Chromebook, that they keep it with them. In regards to cybersecurity and being aware of some things, I always tell the kids, make sure to log out, because if someone grabs their Chromebook and they're still logged in, someone can pretend like they're them and do something, and it could get them in trouble, and your child didn't do anything wrong. Someone took their Chromebook. So it's really important that they remember to always log out. PE clothes. If you're a freshman and you're in PE, you must have PE clothes. The PE teachers will let you know. Nicola, who was selling PE clothes today, is in the spirit wear. Your PE teachers will even let you know if you're in a sport, you may also need to purchase PE clothes, because the freshmen still go to PE 1 day a week. So the PE teachers will let them know that on the first week if you have not bought PE clothes. Bikes and skateboards. If your kids ride their bikes to school, my big recommendation is to have them lock them up over here by our stack, or we have a cage behind the 200 building. Please don't lock them to the fence. We have had bikes stolen. More and more kids are riding the electronic bikes. Get the thickest, strongest lock you can possibly get, because those bikes are expensive. I would like to say it's safe here, but we also have a pretty open campus. As much as we are around and we're watching and we have cameras, we have had bikes stolen. So please make sure that they lock their bikes up, and that they lock them up behind the 300 building, which is right outside the gym here, and then also behind the 200 building, we have a cage that we lock up during the day, and that's going to be the safest place. We also have skateboard lockers, so they can lock up their skateboard. All freshmen, sophomores, and juniors get a locker. We get to actually use lockers this year, so the kids, when they get their schedule, will have a combination and a number on the locker. That will be their locker for the entire year. If their locker for some reason doesn't open, or they're having a hard time opening it, we'll have people around helping them, but just tell them to go to the supervision office and we'll get someone to help them. Again, you're part of the solution. I think the biggest thing, and it's scary, it's interesting, with COVID, we didn't have a lot of discipline because the kids were at home or they were in classes, but the classes were smaller. But when going back to normal, I would love to say that students aren't harassed or they're not bullied or they don't do drugs and alcohol, but they're still learning. They're maturing. Students are going to make mistakes. And the biggest thing about high school is that they learn and they don't do it again. And so we take this very seriously here. We don't want anyone to feel that they're not safe. If a student is feeling harassed or bullied, we take it very seriously and we investigate it fully. We have a supervision office, an amazing AP of supervision that she loves kids, she cares for kids, and Mrs. Temple works a lot with Mrs. Atkinson, and we do a lot in regard to restorative practices. because we don't believe in just shoving them away and sending them home or suspending them. Now that could happen. But the bigger thing is, why don't we sit down and let's discuss this and say, how would you feel if someone did this to you? And really discuss what happened, why you said it, and how that is hurtful. Because I can guarantee, if you ever got a call from me or one of the administration saying that your child's been bullying somebody else, your child will never bully another person again. So we like to involve you. We want you to know about this because no one wants to feel that way. We want kids to have a great experience in here, not feel that they're not safe here. So we take this very seriously. So I always say we have an anonymous reporting that the kids can report things anonymous, so can the parents, so can teachers. So if you see something happening, or if you're a student and you're too embarrassed to say, hey, they were smoking in the bathroom, send us a catapult. We'll go in there and we'll deal with it. Like I said, we respond to vets. We take this very seriously, and we always will notify the parents as well. Tighten HST. This is extremely important. Everyone take a picture of this screen. Take your phones out. I don't know if it'll come up because it's kind of light. But we have a program called Tighten HST on our campus. This is an amazing program. It is an emergency response that all students and parents will be able to download this along with all of our teachers. So for instance, gosh forbid, it would never happen. It's not going to happen. Knock on wood. But if, let's say, we had an active shooter on campus, what the great thing about Tighten HST does is that no matter where that person is on campus, if they hit the button, there's a button on the screen. I'm going to move away from the screen for a second.
You'll see right here, there's like different buttons. You'll see a medical, you'll see an active shooter, you'll see drugs, you'll see a cigarette.
All of these different types of things, you can just push that button. And we have a GPS on the app where we know exactly where that person is within basically 2 feet. It is fantastic. If there's an emergency and we have to do a lockdown, we can send a parent square, we can send a Tighten alert so you're in the loop of what is happening as quickly as possible. So we highly recommend, we'll send out some information on this, or we'll recommend that you sign up for Tighten HST. It's a wonderful program. Almost all of our communication is through Parent Square. So I know we do get a lot of them, and you probably want to delete them, but there's some good stuff in there, and for you to stay involved, even if it's a quick peek and say, okay, that one doesn't apply to me, but always make sure that you're taking advantage of it and reading those Parent Squares. Cyberbullying, I talked a little bit about this. Again, we take it very seriously. Make sure you're the parent, you pay the bill, you should be looking at your child's phone. Make sure you know what they're doing on TikTok. Make sure you know what they're doing on Snapchat, Instagram, all of those great things. Again, you pay the bill. However we can help, we're here, but at the same time, we want to make sure that this doesn't happen. And the kids a lot of times say things, and even adults, sometimes we say things on social media that we would never say in person, face to face. So why would we ever do it on a phone? Why would we ever do it on a computer? If you're not going to say it face to face to someone and have that conversation, why do you think it's okay to do it on social media? We want to celebrate the use of social media and advertise it, celebrate all the positivity. We don't want to focus on the negative. Stop-In Center, I'm going to hand it over to Linda really quick, and she's going to talk to you about what she does.
All right, good evening, human chargers. It's so good to be humans. Now here's what I'm going to, nobody else has asked you to do this, but I can tell all of us are older. How many of you, your back feels like? I want you to stand up real quick and sit back down. Do not leave, because what I'm going to talk about is important. Stand up and stretch, and then sit. Ah, yes. You're happy that I'm saying this, aren't you? Okay, now sit back down. It's going to be really quick what I'm going to talk to you about. My name is Linda Temple, the student support psychologist. I'm also the freshman and sophomore counselor. I am probably your student's biggest advocate on this campus. My job is to support your student in every way possible. And so it's really, this year has been crazy. How many of you freshman parents are nervous about your kids starting school? Let me see a raise of hands. How many of you are downright scared? Let me see both hands. How many of you are totally okay about it? Let me see your hands. You're glad to get them out of the house, huh? I know. I get it. Okay. Well, we have been working and preparing as best we can prepare for this school year. We want to support your kids. Know this. I'm going to say this just really clearly. Your kids have been through trauma. All of us have gone through this pandemic, and it's been traumatic. And the biggest thing that your students have experienced is the disconnect from friends and other people. That lends itself to depression, isolation, anxiety, all sorts of things. So we are really doing all we can to help prepare and support them. And so it's really important for you all, as they start school, to just be in the loop to know. It's going to be stressful for them the first few months because this is brand new. Your freshmen, this is brand new coming to high school, and even your sophomores. And so there's a lot of support here, but I just want to encourage you. There are a lot of people to talk to. I'm one of the psychologists. There's 2 testing psychologists, and then there's a junior and senior counselor, and then there's a wellness counselor that comes on Tuesdays. So there's a lot of mental health professional support for your students. And so please let us know if you see your students struggling. Please call me. And the good thing about it is that when your students come in and talk to me, it's confidential. I don't call you unless I'm needing to, unless I'm mandated, unless they're going to harm themselves or somebody else. But it's confidential, and I think I've developed a pretty good listening skills and attentive skills to listen to them and help them process. And so this is going to be a really critical, important year. So I'm here for you all, and I'm here for your kiddos. One of the things that we have in the district is called Parent University, and I know that we're going to be doing those in a couple months. We do them at the district office, and what it is, it's an evening where the different psychologists and mental health people will come in and do an hour presentation on whatever the need is, whatever it might be. So keep your ears open and eyes open for that, because the district will be letting you know. It's called Parent University. And so I just really want to welcome you. I am so happy to see human being parents. I'm so happy that you're here, okay? And so please call me if you're just not sure what to do with your student. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. I know, I don't look that old, do I? I know. But anyway, so I want to support you in the best way I can, all right? Welcome, Charger parents.
All around great lady, and she helps us all. Trust me, there's many times I walked into her office and I'm like, and she's always there, always listens. She's just love her. Love you, Linda. Tutorial, just so you know, school starts at 8 o'clock, unless it is 0 period, it starts at 7. At 8 o'clock, Tuesday through Friday, we have what's called tutorial. This is free tutoring. Every teacher is in their classroom. Your child can go to any one of their classes and get extra help, or sit and do homework, or just hang with friends. So from 8 to 8:30 every day, Tuesday through Friday, they can go to any class and get help, and the teachers are there to do so. So if the kids say, well, I don't have to be at school, it doesn't start till 8:30. Well, no. You need to be there today, because I don't care if you're just hanging out. You're going to school at 8, because that way the teachers are there for you to get any extra help that you need. Communications is big, and I can always improve. I always try to improve, and we are always doing the best we possibly can, but it's never perfect. So I highly recommend that you go to My HBUHSD and make sure, I think you guys have already logged on to Aries because you had to do the whole medical background in that. You're also going to want to get on Canvas. Every one of our teachers uses Canvas as their management system for grading, for giving assignments, for sending out reminders to the kids of things that they have. You want to get on that as well, so you can say, hey, I got the reminder from your teacher. You got a test this Friday, or you have a report due. So make sure, and I'm going to get off the mic for one more second.
When you see this, there's going to be be some tutorials in regard to Canvas, so make sure to watch them.
Your child is going to have a VPC code. It's the same VPC code you use to get into Aries. That's going to be their password. Make sure if for some reason you try to log on and it doesn't work, it's because they changed their password. You sit down with your child, you guys do it together, and make sure that you're on Canvas. I cannot stress that enough. If you want to know what's happening in every one of their classes, and don't wait for that progress report, don't wait for the report cards, because everything's done electronically now. So if you're not paying attention, you may not get that report card in time. Don't wait for 4.5 weeks. Get on Canvas and watch. Now, the teachers, there's a lot of grading. Every teacher's got 180 kids. So don't expect if they had a test today that they're going to have those grades up that day. It may take a week. If you're in English, if you're ever an English teacher, if you know any English teachers, that's 170 essays to write. They're not going to grade them that quick. So also have some patience. But I can say for the most part, most of our teachers will have grades updated at least every 2 weeks, if not more. Most of the teachers have it updated weekly, but I would say every 2 weeks you're going to feel pretty confident that you're going to be able to see where your kids' grades are. So make sure to do that. And then, like I said, if you're reading our parent squares, they're helpful. Cindy really works hard. She spends hours making sure. If you have something that you want to advertise, or if you're looking at a parent group, all that good stuff is on that. If your child wants to try out for a sport, she usually sends all that information home. So it's really good information just to scroll through really quick so you can see what's happening. Problem-solving protocol. This is how we do things. It's high school. We want students to be self-advocates, which means we want to start with them. So if something's happening in the class and the student is, your child's not sure about something, we want your student to go to that teacher first and see if they can have the conversation. If for some reason it doesn't work, then the parent and the teacher can't talk. And a lot of times that is okay. But we want the students to be self-advocates first. If for some reason that doesn't work, then we can involve the administration in these conferences as well. And we can do these conferences via Zoom or in person. I personally like in person because I think you just see body language and we have good conversations. But sometimes you just can't, and we can still do that at Zoom as well. And so this is how we do problems. So try to get your child to be an advocate for themselves and talk to their teacher first. Academic honesty policy is very simple. All of this is on our website. I don't want to bore you, but the biggest thing is make sure your child's doing their own work. They're not cheating. They're not utilizing their phones or taking pictures and sharing answers with somebody else. That they're doing and taking pride in their own work. I think that's what we want. Is we want kids to learn. We want them to critically think. We want them to be creative, and we want them to be good communicators. They can't do that if they're cheating. We want them to do their own work. It's very important. Advice, we already told you. You don't need to hear it from me again. Get involved. Be a part of the school. Embrace these 4 years. We are so excited that you're here. And we're going to stay after if you have any questions for us. I thank you for being patient and listening to this. And I look forward to a great year with all of your students. So thank you so much. If you have questions, if there's any questions, feel free to come on up. If it's something that you feel, just come on up, we'll talk.